there. Tonight, we begin our journey in the fading light of an ancient city. Slowly, gently, and maybe with a smile. If you enjoy these sleepy little wanderings, consider subscribing, but only if you truly enjoy what I do here. And let me know where you're listening from and what time it is. It's always fun to see who's drifting off around the world. Now dim the lights, settle in, and let's begin. The heat of the day lingers like a stubborn houseguest. Stone walls hold under the sun's warmth long after it's gone, glowing faintly in the amber hush of early evening. Babylon doesn't end its day. It exhales it. The last rays spill lazily across rooftops and slip between wooden shutters, brushing everything with a soft, golden dust. Even the shadows seem too drowsy to stretch. The clamor of the market has faded to a slow hum. No more shouting for lentils or haggling over copper bangles. Now there are just quiet exchanges. A nod here, a gesture there, as neighbors head home with baskets of figs and heads full of gossip. A cat watches all of this from a low roof, utterly unimpressed. It's been napping for most of recorded history and sees no reason to change that now. The city is warm not just with heat, but with breath. Every doorway seems to sigh open, releasing slow curls of bread steam, incense, or the sharp tang of someone's ambitious fish stew. There is a gentle choreography to it all. Clay pots passed hand to hand, clothes hung on hooks, sandals kicked off with the mild triumph of having survived another long, dusty afternoon. You pass a bakery where the last loaves are pulled from the ashes, flat, round, and slightly charred at the edges, just how old men like them. A boy with ash on his nose is swatting flies with a palm frond that's really more of a suggestion than a weapon. The flies are winning, but he seems content with the ceremony of it. Farther on, an old man waters the step outside his home, sweeping away dust more out of ritual than necessity. His movements are slow, deliberate. He is not in a hurry. No one is. Even the city dogs have agreed to postpone barking until morning. The scent of jasmine floats from a rooftop terrace, drifting down in delicate spirals. Someone is humming, or maybe it's a flute, or maybe the city itself makes this kind of noise when it's tired. It's hard to tell, and it doesn't matter. Above it all, the ziggurat watches, tall, tiered and unbothered. It casts a long, sleepy shadow across the western edge of the city. Some say gods live there, others say it just leaks cool shade onto the priests and pigeons. Tonight it stands like an old librarian in a quiet reading room, aware of everything, but choosing to say nothing. A palm frond sways in the breeze. Somewhere, a clay wind chime ticks lazily against its twin. A clay tablet clicks shut in the hands of a scribe who has perhaps copied the same phrase 5 times because he too is thinking about bread and bed. The alleys begin to blur into one another. A basket of onions here, a goat that is deeply offended by a passing cat there, and clotheslines that sag like they too are ready for a nap. You walk slowly now, not because you're tired, but because Babylon doesn't reward speed. If you rush, you'll miss the small things. The lizard darting between bricks, the child tracing shapes in the dust with a reed, the grandmother muttering to her cooking pot as if it were a reluctant apprentice. Everything has softened. The voices, the smells, the light. Even the corners of buildings have somehow gone round with sleep. Round a corner and find a man dozing upright against a wall, holding a basket of something. Dates, probably. and his head is tilted just enough to suggest he won't remember this nap, but he'll wake up oddly refreshed. Even the animals have shifted into night mode. The donkeys have stopped being stubborn. The chickens have stopped pretending they run the city. A few frogs begin their evening chorus from a puddle that seems to have appeared from nowhere. Someone somewhere is playing a lyre, or something that dreams of being one. The notes are a little out of tune, like they're stretching after a long day, but they do their job. The melody meanders through the streets like a lazy river, stopping where it pleases. The stars blink on overhead, one by one, slowly, as if shy. No hurry, they have the whole night to make an entrance. You sit now, on a warm ledge near a fountain that's more decorative than practical. Water trickles over lion-shaped spouts, catching the light like tiny fireflies made of silver. Someone left a sandal behind. No one seems concerned. Everything has reached that part of the day where nothing more is expected. The work is done, the pots are cooling, the noise is gone. Babylon is not asleep yet, but she's brushing her teeth and pulling up the covers. And so you breathe with her. The day has officially tipped into evening now, and Babylon begins to glow in its own quiet way. Lanterns bloom one by one like sleepy fireflies coaxed from clay and flame. Each doorway you pass seems to cradle its own little sun, an oil lamp cradled in bronze or hanging from a hook, its light wobbly but warm. The flicker of each flame casts long shadows that stretch across the walls, yawning themselves into strange shapes before vanishing behind corners. You can hear the city settling, not falling silent exactly, but exhaling into stillness. The footsteps that remain are soft and deliberate, sandals on stone, bare heels on warm dust. A woman carries a woven basket with the kind of balance you only get after years of practice and mild annoyance. A boy chases a wandering reed ball, careful not to step too loudly. Even the animals have decided to adopt a hush. The goats are no longer shouting, just muttering. The alleys are narrow here. They wind like lazy snakes between homes made of sun-baked brick, all stacked with such ambition you wonder how they haven't leaned into each other out of sheer exhaustion. Lintels sag. Balconies peer over like curious eyebrows, and the occasional wooden beam stretches from one building to its twin across the lane, a kind of architectural handshake. Clothes still flutter on a few lines, catching the last of the golden breath of day. A shawl ripples, a tunic dances, and somewhere above, a child giggles from a rooftop while pretending to be a bird. A parent shushes the sound, but not harshly. The city doesn't mind a little joy. Someone has sprinkled water over the stones to settle the dust. It makes the air smell of minerals and damp clay, that fresh, nostalgic scent of things cooling down. You pass a doorway draped with faded linens, and from inside comes the soft clatter of pots and low conversation, a family arguing probably, about dinner, or which god is the most understanding. The volume suggests they love each other deeply, even when they're wrong. A man squats beside a small cart, lighting a string of lamps with the same reed ember he used yesterday. His fingers are blackened at the tips, but his eyes are calm, half-lidded like a cat who's mastered the art of being awake without being alarmed. He hums to himself. You don't recognize the tune, but it matches the pace of your breath. In another alley, a dog sniffs a piece of discarded flatbread, considers it, and then leaves it for a more gullible creature. Nearby, a pair of women arrange herbs on a low table, brushing each leaf with a damp cloth as if preparing them for an audience. The scent of mint and cumin trickles into the air like a polite invitation. The soundscape is a lullaby. A wooden door creaks open and closed. A jug pours water into a bowl. Someone laughs softly, the kind of laugh you only share when the heat has finally given up for the night. There are no horns, no alarms, no urgency, just the symphony of a city dimming its lights one breath at a time. You step over a crooked threshold where a sleeping cat has decided to impersonate a rug. It doesn't stir. Clearly, it knows the pecking order here. You pass a small shrine tucked into a niche in the wall, a carved figure of a lion, softened by time and thumbprints, surrounded by bowls of sweet-smelling oils and little clay animals with uneven legs. Someone has left a flower beside it, or part of a flower. The gesture is what counts. The night is deeper now, but not dark. The lanterns are holding their own. They don't chase away the shadows, just give them edges. The flames dance and lean, painting every surface with motion. A jug reflects orange. A doorframe pulses. A woman's earring catches the light and flings it briefly across her cheek before letting it go again. Everything here feels borrowed. The light, the air, the time itself. But no one seems to mind. In Babylon, ownership is less important than presence. You are here, you are breathing. That's enough. You sit. The stone is still warm beneath you. The wind touches your face like a silk ribbon tugging at your thoughts. And in this moment, you realize the city doesn't sleep all at once. It settles in layers, lantern by lantern, footstep by footstep, story by story. Let it settle around you.